Warning: federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Like 12, like 2012 or one, called me trying to get in, text me, and I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry, Ron. Just that, like, everybody that's talking shit about him, just know he wasn't supposed to be there, y'all. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about the things you don't see on regular TV. So join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Oh, so join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Oh, so join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme, yeah, yeah. Peachy Tea Tyme.
When they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? That ain't that what we're supposed to do. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Pictures of smiling faces that used to have a home. Now they sit in the vacant, but tomorrow never comes. I lost my peace when you crossed my mind. Never realizing how close it was to the time. Heaven gained an angel, heaven gained another angel. And all I have are these memories. All I have are these memories. If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven gave an angel, and all I have are these memories. If I had one wish, I'd use it just to see you again, just to spend one more day with you. I'd give you every second, sitting on the porch just to hear your voice, watching the sunset, hoping when I get to heaven you'd remember just like it was yesterday. But the truth is right now we parted ways. Heaven gained another angel. Heaven gained an angel. And all I have are these memories.
memories.
Just one more
All I have are these memories. If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven came an angel. I know. And all I have are these memories. Heaven gave an angel. Heaven gave another angel. I know it have to be. And all I have are these memories. All I have are these memories. If I know you're in a better place, why does it still feel this way? I know heaven gave an angel, and all I have are these memories.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey! I know y'all be like, what is that? Please. Everything I want to do. It's your girl, Demissions, y'all. Demissions with the kisses. Baby. Or you can call me Miss Peachy. Baby. Cause that's what everybody call me anyway. They call me Miss Peachy. Shout do. But y'all, I have a show for y'all tonight, baby. If you have been watching my page, my Facebook page, damn it, you already know what we're talking about tonight. You already know. That we got Portia on here tonight. And you already know that we finna talk about the daddy. The daddy that done shot and killed the officer. And that wasn't even the officer that killed his son. He ain't give a damn. You know, I'm so happy Portia here tonight. We been trying to tell y'all, this is not a funny moment at all whatsoever. Lord knows it's not. But people have been telling y'all, you keep on messing with us, we just gonna say forget it. We ain't got nothing to lose. Forget it. We gonna get our get back. Now, am I condoning the get back? No. He definitely should not have done that. But we get fed up. But we gonna talk about that more. We're gonna talk about that more, y'all. Cause Portia is here tonight. I got another advocate on here tonight, baby. So I'm so excited. You guys, if you are right now watching on your cell phone, baby, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and pull me up on Roku TV. Okay, I'm gonna need you to pull me up on Roku TV. Go ahead, lay down, relax, because like I said, we got a show for y'all tonight. Okay, now you know we are live, and I do have company tonight. So, and it's Cinco de Mayo. So sometimes company don't get the memo. Don't get the memo, but it's okay. It's okay. But anyways, y'all, again, thank you for joining us tonight. Amazing show tonight. I'm so glad that you're here. And I know y'all saw that tribute video. I know you saw the tribute video. And that tribute video is, let me show y'all. Our Peachy Loved One 2-week spotlight. That is Virginia Ortiz, Willie Nelson Jr., and Amia Nelson. they have the 2 week spotlight here on Peachy Tea Tyme, where we keep loved ones' name alive over here. That's what we do. We keep loved ones' name alive, and for 2 weeks, these families have been on my show. Okay, these families have been on Peachy Tea Tyme. So you can go on YouTube or Roku TV, and all you have to do is pull up Virginia Ortiz on Peachy Tea Tyme. Now, if you think you're gonna forget, screenshot. Now's the time. Just go on a screenshot, and then you will have it. But you will see the story. The three of them was caught in a house fire. It was arson, allegedly. It was arson. And the person that could have possibly did it is still walking free. So I suggest y'all go and listen to this story, because baby, it was one for the books. Okay, it was definitely one for the books. So that was the tribute video that I played. I make my own tribute videos for each and every family that come on to Peach Tea Tyme on Wednesdays. Okay, on Wednesday nights, where we have families that come on from all over the United States, and tell their loved one story. All right, so let's go ahead, baby, and get this show cracking. Okay, let's get it cracking. Let's get started. I am about to pull up my first guest. Now, y'all know I do not. I do not write down questions. I don't write down anything at all whatsoever. Okay, but this week and next week, I gotta read some things. Okay, I gotta read some things while I pull them up, because they special people. Okay, they special people. So let's get started with Miss Porch'se Queen Miller. Okay, get ready for a powerful and unforgettable episode of Peachy Tea Tyme, featuring none other than Dr. Porch'se Miller, a nationally recognized advocate, passionate philanthropist, and fearless community pillar. Known for her unwavering voice and undeniable presence, Dr. Miller brings both wisdom and fire to every cause she touches. She doesn't just talk, she acts, and when she does, communities listen, shift, and rise. Dr. Miller shares her personal journey, her fight for justice, and what drives her to continue showing up for those who need her most. With a heart rooted in service and a spirit driven by purpose, baby, she embodies leadership, courage, and compassion. This episode is a tribute to women who lead, the voices that won't be silenced, and the warriors who create real change from the ground up. Dr. Portia Miller is not just a guest, baby. She is a movement, baby. She is a movement. So, baby, that's all I need to say. That's all I need to say. We are going to go ahead and give her doorbell. Yes, her doorbell, baby. We got Miss Dr. Porch'se Miller in the building. Who is it, girl? Hey, Dr. Porch'se Miller, how are you? Oh, you on mute. You gotta unmute yourself.
Okay, yes,
Now
I'm
I can hear
here.
you.
Hey, this Queen. I am
Hey,
the door. Thank you for
Queen.
allowing me in.
You are so welcome. I'm so honored to have you here tonight.
Thank
Um,
you.
I don't get too many advocates up here. Don't get me wrong, I have had some up here. But majority of the time we have families that come on to tell their loved one's story.
Mhm.
So I don't get too many advocates on here. So when I tell you, I'm so excited for tonight,
Yeah,
and
thank
I'm
you.
honored to have you here, baby. So
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Miss Peach.
thank you. Now tell everybody out there that's watching, because baby, we got a full house tonight. Let everybody know a little bit about Queen.
Absolutely, absolutely. My name is Dr. Porch'se Miller, known as Queen. I'm a social justice and civil rights activist, nationally and local community organizer. I work with several organizations. I am a part of the DeKalb NAACP. I'm the field organizer for BLM ATL Grassroots. I am the chat lead, one of the chat leads for the new organization called 50501 Georgia. And yes, I am the Chief of Community Affairs for District 58, State Representative Park Cannon. I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a disabled veteran of the U.S. Army, married to a non-combat Marine. We both
Well,
I'm just out here, doing what I'm supposed to do. This is what Jesus is supposed to do. He ministered outside of the church and just making sure I do what God's word is supposed to do.
all right. And at the same time, she ain't broke. And she out here doing her thing. She doing her thing. Okay.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I told you, Queen, when you come on here, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna laugh. It is explicit language at the same time, and also everything is always allegedly on Peachy Tea Tyme. But I gotta let everyone know how we met before
Please.
we go even further. Um, I remember Queen for the first time when I went to, and this is for everybody that remembers, me. I'm posting everything. I always post. I always do my own flyers. So I make flyers for any and everything. So for everybody that remember, I had received an award. I received an award for activist from Black Lives Matter Grassroots ATL,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw Queen there, and she actually was the one that presented it to me. Her and Unos. Unos is the CEO of the Black Lives Matter Grassroots ATL. So, but Queen was the one that said, "Baby, here you go."
Oh.
So, I'm like, look what she said, y'all.
You know what? We about to have a good time because
I
I'm getting
told you, girl.
older.
I told you. And I was like, thank you, girl. I sure appreciate it. And I said my little speech and everything. And then afterwards, it was Porsche and like I think it was 3 or 4 other young ladies that came up to me and they was like, look, I love what you're doing. I would love to be a part of your platform. And I took everybody, wrote their names down on my phone. iPhone is the best, y'all. Y'all better get y'all an iPhone. Wrote everybody's name down, their phone numbers and everything. And I reached out to Porsche, and she literally is the first one from the young ladies that are coming on from that particular event. You're the first one to
Oh,
come
thank
on.
you. Thank you.
Yes. So Ashley, you remember Ashley? She
Yes,
was
that's
the other young
girl.
lady.
Yes, that's Miss Ashley McKenzie. Justice for her son Jalen McKenzie. He was
Yes.
unlawfully killed in Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm just gonna let you know she is on fire. I adore her. She's so authentic, and the way she is going about things. She's not only fighting for her son, she's fighting for others, and she
Hmm.
is on the strive of fighting for mental health. I mean, she is a light. She is a light. You gotta
Definitely.
look out for her. She is a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely.
Definitely. And Ashley will be on next Wednesday. She'll
Nice.
be on the platform next Wednesday. So I'm excited about that
I'm
just as
excited for
well.
her. Golly, God is
Girl,
good.
go ahead and give her a round
Excited
of
for her, and
applause.
it's justice for all stolen lives.
Yes. Again, I'm so happy that she's coming on. She'll be on a Wednesday, Porsche, where I have my co-host Jason. He only comes on Wednesdays. He lives in Minnesota, and then our counselor lady comes on only on Wednesdays as well. And she's from here. She's here in Georgia. So, and
Awesome.
I can't wait for you to meet her because we connected. We connected now. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna meet her just as well. You're gonna love her. I promise you.
God is
But
definitely up to something, so let's get it.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. Now, Portia, you is like boots on the ground.
I'm in the
You know,
trenches.
we ain't talking about where them fans at. We talking about the real boots on the ground.
Mhm.
So I want you to let everybody know just a little bit of what you've been out here doing, the people that you have been connected with,
Mhm.
just as well.
Mhm.
And then we're going to talk about what made you decide that you want to come on Peachy Tea Time. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a growing platform, growing. May I add growing again? Growing. Just in case I forgot growing. But you could have been like, nah, you ain't got enough followers for me. Or
Oh,
nah, this ain't the platform that I want to come on. You know what I'm saying? When you make it up there, then you holler at me. You could have been just like that.
mhm.
But you decided, nah, I want to go on PCT time. And y'all, when
Absolutely.
I tell y'all Portia was excited to come on here, I like, all right, I'm doing something good. So
Absolutely.
let's start with the people that you have been connected with, the impact that you have been making just as well.
Mhm.
Not just here in Atlanta,
No,
but you've been making an impact everywhere.
absolutely.
All right.
I will. I just want to give a shout out to all the activists and community organizers, not only in Georgia but all over this country. I just want to say there's not a perfect organizer. There's no right way to do it. The right thing to do is get out and fight. Fight for something. Make a change. Be the change that you want to see. I'm also the executive director of the Ahmad Marquez Arbery Foundation on the father's side, Marcus Arbery. I love Mr. Arbery and I adore Miss Wanda Cooper Jones. That whole family connected and linked and got justice for the late our ancestors, our late ancestor Ahmaud Arbery, that was brutally murdered by three racist vigilantes for running through a neighborhood called Cecilia Shores in Brunswick, Georgia, and the murderers were convicted. Unfortunately, the DA, the former ex-DA, Jackie Johnson, her charges was dismissed, and she was found unreasonably not guilty. Unfortunate, but the family is still standing strong and steadfast and doing what they need to do to keep his name alive. I've went to Louisville, Kentucky. I actually been arrested twice for practicing civil disobedience. One for the tragic murder of Breonna Taylor, and as a Black woman and as a veteran, knowing that we all are sworn in of oath to protect our people, domestic and foreign. It was just a tragic.
Hold. I'm not gonna let you just slide through that. I'm not. Especially when I ain't never been arrested a day in my life. So I will not let you just roll on through that Porsche. Girl, you gotta tell us. How that arrested twice?
Yes, I was arrested twice. The first
Okay,
arrest.
let's go to the first time. Let's go to the first time.
Yes, the first time I was arrested, we did a couple of actions in Louisville, Kentucky, and the second action was with Until Freedom. That was Tamika Mallory, my son. Shout out to the Until Freedom, Linda Lasore, Antonio. They've been out fighting for the unfortunate life that was taken of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to her mother, Tamika Palmer, her aunt Bianca Austin. They still continue to say her name. We went to Kentucky to march and shut down the Kentucky Derby that weekend, and we was met with hundreds of police officers on the highway. And as we were protesting and just trying to move forward like they did in for the Civil Rights Act of 1965, shout out to the foot soldiers. They ended up arresting about almost about 60 plus um, uh, people, and I was one of them. And we got out later on in the wee hours of the night, And that same night, not only I was out, and a lot of other activists and protesters got out. I was also maced that night, tear
You was
gassed,
also what now?
gassed
Once you got
by
out?
police. One after I got out, we was gassed.
Okay, hold on. So let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. You know, cause this is a Peachy Tea Time. We can be as long on here as long as you
Hey,
don't get
hey,
tired.
the story
Okay.
is gonna be the story. I can't.
So,
It's not a pretty story.
yeah, exactly. So I need to know these things, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm trying to get out there and protest and march and do all that. I ain't did that yet. Ain't did that yet. So I need to know and be prepared for what's
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
happen
Yes,
or
ma'am.
what may possibly happen.
Will may
So
possibly happen.
let's go back to the first time when you got arrested. Did you have that feeling, that gut feeling that you might get arrested? And if you did you have somebody on standby to come for your bail? Or you knew they were just gonna let everybody out?
It
And
was. I
how did that happen?
think I was
Did they let
tricked.
everybody out?
Everybody ended up getting out. I mean, until like the wee hours of the morning. I think the last group got out probably like 5, 6 in the morning. It was a lot of us. I think I was more so triggered.
Okay, you going in and
Just
out. The reception messing up a little bit.
can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I think I was triggered just to see the amount of officers holding us against our will to practice peaceful and nonviolent protest, and it was just amazing to know how the police can be used to be militarized against us as we was taken to the streets for someone that should not taken their life due to a no knock on warrant of someone that didn't even live there, and she was asleep in her home, and thank God for her boyfriend at the time that protected them and did what he had to do, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way in all cases, right?
Hmm.
Once I got out, a few of us got out. Later on that night, I probably wasn't even out an hour. The police end up hitting somebody with their vehicle
Mm.
and caused the woman to be hit by the vehicle, and that's when everything started getting a little chaotic because instead of them being remorseful, they decided to turn on the crowd. Um, it
Did
was
we know that nationwide? Did we know that portion? Because we
I
knew
don't
about
know.
Breonna
I
Taylor.
don't know, but it was a lot of us on live that night.
Hmm.
It was a lot of people got trampled that night, and we wasn't doing anything, and they put the police on us that night as well. And that's when they started
Wow.
using these aerosol guns that had like powdered pepper in it and started shooting it out. Like the next day, I had like bruises in my face. It kind of messed with my head because I thought it burnt me to the
Mm.
to the point that I'm probably couldn't have recovered from it. um I ended up finding out that I made the national news. I made CNN through my family and everyone that saw
Wow.
it. I didn't even know I made. I didn't even know I made national news at all. That's not really what I went up there for. And
Mm.
I'm not speaking for just myself because I'm not selfish. It was a lot of us from Georgia that went and stood toe to toe and side by side with everyone with Until Freedom to get justice for Breonna Taylor. The second arrest, I was a part of, was the for the murder of Richard Brooks. We shut down the highway that day, and I ended up getting arrested due to that act, and I was just marshaling that day. However, I saw the police grab an Asian protester and grabbed him and just slammed him to the
Mm.
ground on the exit near John Lewis Highway. It I stopped and I was like, I can't leave this young man behind. I can't leave this young man behind. And as I was looking, as the officer was slamming him, another officer had done grabbed me. It was kind of humiliating, but they had me on my knees, and everything. And I was 1 out of 9 that was arrested that day. It took a long time for me to get the charges off. I was facing 5 years. Um,
Wet.
mhm, I was facing 5 years, and so that really like took
That's
a
when
toll
shit
on my
got
mental.
real.
Yeah, and it took a toll on my mental state. But I kept fighting because I was just like, either they're gonna lock me up or I'm just gonna sit back and be scared. But I'm not never scared when it comes to my rights. I know how I feel to be profiled by the police. I know how it feel to go through something with racist white men. That's another story. So, being out here, I've been doing advocacy work for over 20 years, but I've been an activist for about 5 or 6 years now. And it's been
What's the
um
difference between the two?
advocacy. Well, I don't
Now,
think there's
Porsche,
much of a
let me say this,
difference.
Porsche.
Hmm.
Either you talk fast or you nervous and you going fast.
Oh no, I mean,
Okay, it seems like you gone. But I
mhm.
want you to just, we good. We here. We here.
Okay. Well,
Everybody watching
I
and
think I
everything.
think I just talk fast, and I'm probably
Okay,
used to
that's what it is
interviews
then.
because some interviews only have like a certain amount of time
Girl, it ain't
to.
even like that here. It ain't even
Okay.
like that here.
So,
We here for the long run.
yes, ma'am. So, and then I'm trying to get through a story without making them so long and drawn out. So it's kind of like long
Yeah,
story short type situation because I know we got a lot to unpack due to
exactly.
acts of events that has occurred in the last couple of days. So
Yes.
I don't want to be too beside myself because it's not about me. It's about the work.
It is about you
Okay.
tonight. Just we can do that. We can do that, girl. Please. It is Queen's night tonight.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
it is your
let's
time.
do it
It's
then.
time.
Let me readjust this
We
thing.
want to know all about you. Literally,
Yes.
all about
Okay. So I ended up going through a lot of stress due to that arrest. It wasn't as smooth as the one in Kentucky. It took almost 2 years to get off those charges, and I eventually the charges was dismissed. It
you.
did
Did
not.
somebody have to pay for you to get out?
Yeah, we had to be bailed out. We
Okay.
had to be bailed out. It was a moment in time where I felt like I was doing what my ancestors did and my forefathers did. I'm from Dothan, Alabama. So my history book is similar to Georgia, but at the same time, it's a lot more racist than people think. You know what I mean? I come from Dothan, Alabama. It's one of the most racist cities in Alabama. You can look up how they had to infiltrate the Dothan Police Department because they were locking up black men unlawfully and setting them up with drug paraphernalias and things of that nature. So when I say advocacy, you have a lot of people that do advocacy work. You give out food, you do mentorship. That's a form of advocacy. If you look at teachers, they're advocates for education.
Mhm.
You have people that advocate and they just don't want to be on the front line. That's a form of advocacy work. When I say activists, for me, it's people that are true roots on the ground that really live, dies, and breathe this. The Black Panther Party. They were radical. But their activism is the one that kept the people alive, kept the people knowledgeable. Not afraid to go toe to toe with the law. But when you have that platform, it really exposes you to a lot of dark things, and with being an advocate, you don't too much get a lot of heat uh with the work you do because you're not seen. It's most of the time when the ones that are on the front line, uh we go through a lot of mental anguish and a lot of misinformation when it comes to us. But it's something Jesus went through. What Jesus got crucified for the things that he did for
Yes.
people. So who am I to continue to just be off in the soapbox with that? You take what you do and you make the best of it and be a soldier and step up to the plate. If not, somebody else can come do the work and be one of God's soldiers. They can when we can walk side by side. Like I said, there is no perfect way to do activism. The only way you could do it is continue to be boots on the ground.
Okay, so did you see your parents doing this? Like, how far back do you remember that's something that was like, okay, I'm finna start doing the same thing. I want to stand up for my community too.
Okay. Well, I wasn't. I didn't ask for this. I was. I didn't ask for the movement. The movement chose me, and that's real. My first work of doing advocacy work was working doing holiday giveaways and working with my godfather, Pastor Kenny Glasgow Sharpton in Dothan, Alabama. He's the brother of Reverend Al Sharpton. And so I call Reverend Al Sharpton my uncle, but it's more so like
Girl, I ain't finna let you go past that either. Dang, I wish my friend Chantel was
yeah,
watching right
shout out
now.
to my cousins
Baby,
Dominique and Ashley Sharpton, my best friend Kiana.
so
Uh,
you really know Al Sharpton?
mhm.
Okay, let me tell you something. If you go back and listen to Peachy Tea Tyme, you know, God make things happen for a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been telling folks. Now I ain't been lying. I have not been lying.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I tell my kids, I be like, quit practicing lying. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I ain't been lying,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been calling Al Sharpton my uncle. I
Oh
ain't never
wow.
met him a day in my damn life. Not a day in my
Well,
life.
we call Luke Skywalker Uncle Luke. You know,
Exactly, Uncle
I
Luke.
mean, they call me Dr. Portia, but they call Dr. Dre who he is too, right? Oh, I want to say this. My parents are not advocates in the movement. Not at all. Mine started by being a product of my environment. So it wasn't something that I was just wanted to do. It was that if you're gonna be around us, you're gonna do this work. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's something that was instilled. It's called seeding. It's called seeding. Planting seeds in children, in children minds, where when they grow up, they don't fall astray from that. They take it and embrace it because God's going to use them in the later part of their life, and that's how that happened for me. And I
At
never
what
forget.
age?
Oh man, oh.
I mean,
We
I know you
we
said
we
it's
were
been
we were
over
we
20
were we
years,
were
but
we
how
were
old?
no, far as like doing the passing out turkeys and stuff like that. That was like my early 20s.
Okay.
Something in
Okay.
there. Yeah, I had just got out the military. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it was like, if we're gonna be around, you're gonna have to do the work, but I know you in the streets too, so guess what, you better balance this thing, because if you're gonna be out here doing the things you doing, you know what I mean, you might want to give back to the community too. So it's out of balance for me. But I do have a mother that was born in 1954, and she picked cotton. My mother and my
Mm.
father was the first students to start in the integration school called Carver High School. They went to a segregation school called Carver High School, but they ended up going to a integrated school that was called Dothan High School. My grandfather, my great great grandfather. He fought in a war, but he fought for his family and had to flee to Alabama from Georgia because he beat the man up. You know what I'm saying? So he had to end up. His name was Leonard Burnett. So he ended up having to move to Alabama, and that's where he met my great grandmother, Lizzie Newsom, and that's how they came up with the Burnett. So it's two sets of Burnett's. You have one with the E, and then one with no E.
Okay.
And so my history runs deep. On my father's side, that's where the advocates was at. We had a family member that was hung in Mobile back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of advocacy work that was done on the border of Alabama and Mississippi. You know, and I remember times when we used to go meet my grandfather because I was raised heavily in the church. My
Mhm.
grandfather was a bishop. My granddaddy was the deacon. My grandmother was first lady type deal.
Everybody
So
had a part.
yeah, so I was in church 8 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna get it twisted. But you know, to have all these things embedded in you as a child and not knowing that this is going to be what makes you in the latter part of your life,
Mhm.
it's an amazing thing, but it's a
Yes.
humbling thing. It's also because you have to sit back and you have to keep your bearings when you want to go off the rail, you know. And
Yep.
once you have a platform such as myself and others in the movement, it's always cameras on you. You know that's the difference. It used to be a time where we did things there wasn't no cameras, but then activism, right, caused
Mhm.
all the cameras. And I didn't ask to be on no bullhorn either. I was in I was in Louisville, and we was all coming from Georgia, and I never forget the first time we went, we were marching, and Attorney Gerald Griggs stopped the march, and he was like, "No, no, 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 that ain't right." And he grabbed somebody megaphone. He was like, "Give me the megaphone," and he passed it to me. He said, "You check." I was like, "What? Wait a minute." You know what I'm saying? Because I had my little sign. I was good with a protest. I was
You
good
was
with,
good with your side.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing my part, you know? And that's where all the history happened at. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give him that credit. For but at the
Cause
end
some
of
people scared to do that. I don't care how old you are or how young you are. You
Mhm.
have some people that is scared to take the forefront. They're scared to be in the front of everything. They're afraid of that.
Yeah, it wasn't like I was trying. It just ended up happening that way. And I think that comes with you know, being on the praise and worship team
Mhm.
and military. You know, I always been in a leadership position all my life, so that's not nothing new. It's but it's an acquired space to be in. It comes with a lot of heavy bearings. I mean, like a lot of heavy carrying of crosses. It comes with a lot of responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is given much is required from a person.
Yep.
And I feel that taking on such burdens, it's a blessing, but it can also be a curse because there is no space for the mental health of advocates and activists. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So you know we gotta, you know, I've always was taught to treat the janitor like you treat the CEO.
Yep.
Everybody got to get
Exactly.
respect across the line, because you never know, that janitor probably be the one to save your life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The
Exactly.
CEO might write that check, but that janitor gonna be the one that drops those jewels when y'all sit back and talk as they try to mop a floor or something like that. That might be the one that saved your child's life. You know?
Exactly.
Um,
You are 100% right with that one.
Absolutely. And I don't want to be I'm not a name dropper, so I think that's what made it make it seem like I'm a little uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, the people that I'm talking about expect you to do the work. They don't have the time to sit back and have you name drop when they want to see you do the work. And so when Reverend Al Sharpton and my cousin Dominique Sharpton and others saw me down in Brunswick on the case of Ahmaud Arbery, and we won. It felt so good for him to be like, "Yeah, that's my family right there." And
Yes.
he hugged on me, and they praised me, and he was just like, "That's what I'm talking about. That's what
Mhm.
I'm talking about." And after that, things just went up. Um, and it's just been a blessing to help so many families. Like the ones here in Georgia, in Alabama, and other places. I've gotten uh um I call myself sometimes like a earth angel because most of the cases that I'm called to, they end up winning. And I don't know what that's about, but God
Amen.
is I love when God leads me to a case. When I think of DeWard Baker, this is a young man out of from my hometown that was one of my classmates. He was killed by the police unlawfully in the city of Dothan, Alabama, 2 months after they brutally beat him out his shoes.
Mm.
Yes, and he was not a thug. You know how they just
Yeah,
always mislabel us. He was actually one of the sweetest guys you could ever meet.
yeah.
And they end up killing this woman's only son. And once we did like a couple of actions in Dothan, the city of Dothan has not killed one black man, woman, or child in
Mm.
the city of Dothan since his passing. So, that was a successful act. You know what I mean? I'm glad that somebody got on the conscience of those officers and realized that you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, we're gonna make sure we make you famous. You know what
Yep,
I mean?
yep,
And so that was a good action, but there is no justification. It will never be justice for any lives that's taken because they can never come back. I know families that have gotten settlements, but they're not well mentally.
yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're not well.
Exactly.
They're not well. They're
No.
not well because it's not enough money to bring someone back. I have a father that I know here by the name of Mr. Jimmy Hill. He had a court today. I had to go to the doctor, but he had court today, and I looked at his live today. He was just so livid on the fact that these officers lack integrity.
Mm, mm,
They can't seem to tell a straight truth without finding a lie to cover up the fact that they really killed his son out of pure malice ego
mm.
unlawfully. You have mothers, uh, uh, young baby Lyndon Borkins. He was killed during a pit maneuver move up in Cobb County, right? his
Yeah.
mother's his mother is not strong enough to fight that fight. You got people that's strong, but some of these families, it's too much to bear, and being that, where I'm about to go with this, right?
Yes. Yes. But go ahead. Go ahead.
The other day in Ohio, a young man was unlawfully killed by the police, and the
Which is
day
what we're
after
talking about tonight.
and the day after it happened, his father end up hitting and killing an officer.
Yep. Yep.
The
And I'm
story
glad
of
that
that
you
and the
brought that
story
up.
of that is that the son was not only did not have a gun, but he didn't steal a car either.
Allegedly. We
Allegedly,
gotta say
we gotta
allegedly.
say allegedly. We gotta
Yeah.
say
But we know
allegedly.
what we know. But we
Yeah,
gotta say allegedly.
yes, absolutely. And I have no problem with that because we wasn't there. We don't live
Hmm.
there. However, I
I
want to
will.
talk about the mental health breakdown when these families go through these things and they see for themselves when they go to look at them videos.
Hmm.
Yeah, it'd be a very, very hard thing to watch and go through as they watch the truth allegedly before society sees it. you
Exactly.
know and my heart goes out. The whole situation is messed up, but my heart goes out to the father.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to the father because I know a father that felt the same way, and his name was Marcus Arbery. The same way. You
Wow.
understand what I'm saying? So it's a sad situation, but
All
what
the way
really
around.
but
All the way around.
what throws me off about this situation is that they shut down the GoFundMe to assist this family and this father. But they allowed a white woman that called a 5-year-old autistic black boy the N-word to raise $500,000 for her to get another home because they done ran her up out her shit.
That's how they do.
I don't understand I don't understand the disconnect because you guys will fund a racist, right? But
Yeah,
we're not allowed to help our people when we're feeling that they did something that they need to do because the Black Panthers would have did it allegedly.
exactly. But let's get into the
Let's get
story
into it.
since you so look, since she brought it up.
Baby,
Baby,
listen.
and I hope you are ready, Portia. Portia, I really hope you're ready because we got a few clips on this tonight. The granddaddy. We have what the granddaddy had to say. We also have a little bit of what the grandmother had to say. But we also have what the cousin had to say just as well. So we also have body cam footage. Like, I really do research when it comes down to this. And I thank God for YouTube subscriptions.
And I
I'm telling
forgot
y'all,
to
y'all
tell
better start
people why.
subscribing.
And I forgot to tell people why I decided to come on your
Oh,
platform
yes, yeah, tell us, girl.
because you are an impacted family
Mm.
and you are doing something that is healing to you. And I'm talking to you personally. I'm talking to your spirit. I'm looking through you. And I want to let you know that if this is the way you heal, I want to let you know that you are doing an absolute great job because these families' stories need to be told. They need to feel like they're being heard. They need to feel like somebody has their back, but it always has to be somebody that can teach them how to heal.
Yeah,
Not on your time, not on my time, but through the times as they try to get through the trauma of knowing that their loved one is not coming back. And we're not just talking about kids. We have families that have lost their father, like Deacon
yes,
Johnny Holloman family. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
they lost their strength. And them children had to get it together so they could fight for their father. Not only they did get a settlement, but the officer will not be getting his job back with the Atlanta Police Department. And what hurts the most, it was a black man.
mm, mm,
You know, it was a black man. And so we try to not we try to have people to separate color from the badge, but you can't separate the badge from slavery.
exactly.
You just can't separate the badge from slavery. And it all comes down to that. And when they look at us as targets because of our complexion, but when you got the people that has the complexion for the protection, that does mass shootings and that kills several of us at the same time and live, that's a mental health breakdown as well.
As well. You are 100% right.
So you're
So
doing
let's
you're
go
doing well.
ahead. Let's go ahead and get into this first clip, baby. This is the story. This is what is going on right now. This is trending. This is everywhere out there. Like, people think we crazy. They think we crazy. But we ain't crazy. We just tired. We
One.
tired of the disrespect. We tired of the bullshit. We tired of it all. We tired. And some people, they do have things to lose, but they just don't care. So here we go. We're going to break it down. I like to break it down from the beginning, Portia. That's just what I do. So here we go.
Kills a suspect. It all started with a chase involving a stolen car.
And tonight, WLWT News 5's Sean McKinnon speaking with police leaders. He's live now with why the police union president says his officer had to make that split-second decision. Sean.
One suspect was killed. 2 others were arrested. Police are searching for a 3rd person. We're expecting to learn more tomorrow morning from Cincinnati police and the mayor. Tonight, the president of the police union said these suspects were young people and that he talked with the officer who pulled the trigger.
It's something that bad guys with guns should expect. You point a gun at a Cincinnati police officer, they're going to shoot you. And unfortunately, this is the reality. It's tragic that it happened, but you shouldn't be pointing guns at police officers.
Around 9:30 Thursday, Ken Kober says as part of an investigation, plainclothes officers used GPS to track a stolen car down to the parking lot of these East Price Hill condos. CPD Chief Terry Thiegy says when uniformed police arrived, 4 people got out of the car and started running.
They encountered somebody with a firearm who did not want to comply with the officer's commands to stop.
The officers gave them commands to stop doing what they were doing. They continued on.
Kober says one suspect aimed his gun at officers. That's when a plainclothes officer shot and killed him.
7317 2500 Warsaw, shots fired.
And it's your understanding right now that a suspect intentionally and directly pointed a gun at an officer?
Absolutely. I talked to the officer that was involved. It's pretty scary, when you turn and all of a sudden you see the guns being pointed at you, and you have no choice but just to react. And that's exactly what occurred. That you don't have time to think in this situation. It's nothing more than a reaction because you want to save yourself.
The 3 other people who were in the car keep running.
We have 1 down. We had 3 flee into the woods.
Officers used drones and police dogs. After a long chase, capturing them nearby. 1 other person has not been caught.
It's very, very likely that the last person that's involved that's outstanding will be captured.
No officers were injured today. Police have not shared details about the person who was killed or 3 other suspects. The Cincinnati Police Chief and Mayor will hold a news conference tomorrow morning at 11. WLWT plans to share it live on air. Reporting from East.
All right, Porch'se. What do you think? What from what you see right now? For what you see right now on that very first clip, because one thing about over here at Peachy Tea Tyme, I like to break it down into a story because you just never know who done heard about this and who didn't hear about it. So this is how it all began.
Mm-hmm.
This was the beginning of the story. A young boy with his homeboys, his homies. They in a stolen car. But there's other stuff finna come out too. But they was in a stolen car. And he gets shot dead. He gets shot dead.
In the back.
In the back. And all this is allegedly.
It's
But we
all
know
alleged.
what we know because we do our research. But in the back.
Yeah, and this is why it's so important to do your research on certain cases before you get on them for the record, because
Exactly.
some cases what you see might not be, but a lot of times 99%, 98% of the time the police are lying, but allegedly. What I see is that some young boys from the story allegedly stole a vehicle and they took off running. When they took off running, the officers stated that one had a gun and pointed it at them. I saw the body cam.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to just take our time because.
And it was only 6 seconds long.
Yeah.
The body cam footage was only 6 seconds long. We
Yes.
are waiting
Yes.
for different angles.
I listened to everything they say, the clicks, the clacks, the breathing and things of that nature. I want to say justice for Vincent Truitt. He was a young man that was killed in Cobb County that was in a car kind of similar to the situation, and he was shot in the back as well and allegedly had a gun.
Justice for Vincent.
However, we're talking about this young man.
Ryan.
Gotta give me a second.
It's okay. It's okay. Because what we're finna do is, because we got a lot of clips on this.
Okay.
So let's go
So
ahead and
what
get
I
into
what I
the
want to
next
say
clip.
is we heard the police clipping prior to the next day. That's what we just heard.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going.
Here go clip number 2, you guys. Please share. Share. This is the time. This is the time. This is the time to start sharing right now. Okay? We need y'all to share this story right now. This is something that is going on right now in real time. Okay?
And excuse me, I get a little overstimulated talking about these cases because we are affected right along with the families. It don't
Yes.
take you to go through it. You don't have to get hit by a bus to know it hurts. Is all I'm saying. And yes, justice for Tyree Nichols that was killed by 5 black Memphis
We
police.
just covered that again last week. You know,
Yes.
because the trial just started last week.
Right.
So we covered that again. Y'all, it's free to share. We don't do this for our health. We don't do this just be sitting up here. We don't do this because we are putting our families at risk, putting ourselves at risk too. But we don't care. We want to make sure that y'all know what's going on. We are spreading awareness and keeping loved one names alive. So it don't take nothing but a click of a button to share. I tell y'all all the time, I'm not about clicks and views, but I do got enough sense to know that if a lot of people watch this shit, then a lot of people gonna know about what's going on. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So let's go ahead. Let's get into this next clip. It's the second clip. This is the body cam footage. It's only 6 seconds. But in those 6 seconds, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait till I come back and then I'm gonna say it. Here we go.
Cincinnati police are sharing body camera video of the moments that led to an officer-involved shooting and killing of a suspect in East Price Hill.
And WLWT News 5's Danielle Dindak has been leading the way on this investigation for us. She's live right now, walking us through the video. Hi, Danielle.
Hi there, Mike. This video is very fast. We're talking about 6 seconds. 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle and fired those shots. I do want to warn you, what you're about to watch could be hard to see.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! On your right!
In a matter of seconds. It all began with a stolen vehicle, a Kia from Edgewood, Kentucky. GPS tracking led the investigation here, a condo complex in East Price Hill. Officers arrived, and Chief Terry Thiege explains what happened next.
All 4 individuals get out and start running.
On your right! On your right!
Some in different directions. The officers decide which individual they're going to pursue. One officer decides to pursue the individual who we now know had a firearm in his hand.
At some point, the person with the gun slips.
They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up, still has the firearm in his hand, and continues to run through the dumpster.
The officer who fired the shots was chasing another suspect before he made contact with the armed suspect.
The officer who did discharge his firearm said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had the firearm in front of him. It was in like a bladed position, and it was pointed at the officer. And he felt threatened for his life, and that's why he discharged his firearm.
4 to 5 rounds were fired. The suspect was hit twice, given medical care right away, and died. Thiege said this is the gun the suspect had. A semi-automatic with an extended magazine, with another magazine in his pocket.
Let me be very direct. We cannot allow individuals to flee from officers with a loaded firearm aimed at them. When this happens, the outcome is almost always tragic.
Police also told us that a stolen gun was found inside that stolen Kia. At this time, we still do not have the identity of the person who was shot and killed. All police could tell us is that he was approximately 18 years old. Reporting live in East Price Hill tonight, Danielle Dindak, WLW.
Okay, y'all, we are back. And then we're going to go into the next couple clips. We're just going to play both of them back to back. But I want to make sure that I express this just as well, Porch'se, because I advocate for what I advocate for. And I always tell families, Please teach your kids. And I ain't finna sugarcoat shit. Please teach your kids. When the police is behind you, stop. I don't care what you got in the car. If you caught, you are caught. But you live to see another day possibility. You live to see another day. But if you stop, do what they tell you to do, unless you got some crooked ass cops out there that is just want to kill you. And they're going to kill you. And that's it. Ain't nothing you could have done or anything. But let's just please, please, please remember when these police officers turn their lights on, and those lights on are for you. I don't care what illegal that you have in your car. Pull over, take the rap, take the charge, whatever. You was in the wrong. And you get to call somebody to come bail you out. And then you fight the case. So I want to make sure that I say that. But in this case, I don't give a damn what this boy did. I don't care that it was a stolen car. I don't care that he had a gun on him. I don't care about none of that. He did not deserve to be murdered. Now, they did say, the officers did say that he pointed the gun at him. He was scared for his life. He said all of this. Now, I want you to know, we got the granddaddy on here. The granddaddy got something that he had to say. And I'm glad that you're here and you're going to hear what the granddaddy had to say. But at the same time, none of us there. We was not there. There's people coming out saying that he didn't even have a gun. There's people coming out saying he had the gun, but it wasn't pointed at the officers. But just know, the granddaddy saw the video, and the granddaddy has something to say, and we are going to play it tonight. And I must say, Porch'se, I feel like he killed the case from what he said. That's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like he shouldn't have said what he said. But because of what he said, I feel like this officer is about to walk. That's how I feel. But again, let's go back to that body cam footage. What did you see in that body cam footage? What stuck out to you?
Well, I want to say that's not the gun they showed the first time. The first time the gun they showed, it was in the trees and it was dark. It was a black gun. The gun
We
that they
call them
showed.
mouse tools.
Excuse me.
We call them mouse tools over
Right.
here on Peachy Tea Tyme.
Okay. All right. So the weapon that they showed the first.
Go
I'm a
ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. You call it what the hell you want to call it.
Okay, so the weapon they showed the first time was not the one that I just seen. The first one was it was in the grass and it was a black weapon. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
this weapon right here is like a tan colored weapon.
Yes,
Right.
it is.
Yes, it was. So that alone is kind of iffy for me because I did my research as well. Also, in the video, 6 seconds, I didn't see anybody turn to do anything but run.
Me either.
Now, I'm glad we could come to grips and we could touch and agree
I
on
didn't
that.
see that.
I didn't I didn't I
I did
didn't
not
I didn't
see
I
him
didn't see that.
pointing the gun
And
at him when they stopped
right.
it.
And this the
Push
thing.
pause.
This the thing. I have seen officers tell a dead person to not resist.
Yep.
Okay. So just because an officer states something, that doesn't make it true. It just gives them a right to.
Exactly.
That's what I see. It doesn't make it true. It just gives them a right to, because if they can hear them say it, then that justifies them that, oh well, that's what what will happen, you know. I can't say that it's fair that our people are not allowed due process. It's not fair. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you have other complexion the complexion with protection getting off, even the attempted assassination allegedly on the president, they didn't even unalive that person. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a grandfather clause somewhere where they can unalive us on the spot, but for some reason they giving others some type of grandfather in where they're able to live.
Yep.
And it just seemed like it really doesn't matter if someone has a weapon or not. You have that young baby, Elijah McClain, that was artistic, that played the violin, the cats, and he was just on his way home, and they unalive that baby. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Tyree Nichols on his way home, they unalived that baby,
They
right?
murdered him.
They yes,
That's what
yes.
they did.
Okay, they murdered him. They took
Over
his
here at Peachy Tea
they
Tyme, we
have
like to call
they
it like
they
it is.
have they have they have the late senior airman Roger Fortson. That baby was at home. They didn't even give him a chance. He had the right to have a carrier on him because he was at home and didn't know what was going on. They killed him. So this had a gun, had a weapon situation. It's just I feel like it's just a way of saying it out loud to make sure they exterminate us one by one. And that's just how I feel about it. I can't take their side because I've been racially profiled. The day of my grandfather's wake, I had the Dothan Police Department try to set me, my husband, and my kids up trying to plant synthetic fake weed in my car.
Mm.
All because we stopped in a area in the hood to get something to drink, and they profiled us. And if it wasn't for life when it first came out, they probably would have gotten away with it. That was the
Wow.
day of my grandfather's wake.
Mm.
Okay, so I don't have the sympathy people think I should have when it
Yeah.
comes to the law, because at the same time, if you are a good officer and you're not speaking up against the wrong of what other officers did, you just as bad as them. That's why we have a former
Yep.
officer by the name of Carriel from Buffalo, New York. She's fighting a case now because she tried to help someone as an officer, so the officers wouldn't do what they was doing to him, and the man was white.
Mm.
But just because she went up against the gang, the police, now she's fighting for her freedom. So I'm not sure what people want us to feel, but I feel that it's all about the complexion for the protection. And that's something we don't have. Men, black woman, black man, or black child. Because if they really wanted to really not murder this young man by the name of Ryan, they could have just hit him in the leg and took him on and took him on his merry way. But that's not, no, they want to exterminate every chance they get. That was not a reason to
Ryan
kill
Hinton.
him.
Yep.
Period.
Say
Justice
his
for Ryan
name.
Hinton.
Say his name. Ryan
Justice
Hinton,
for
baby.
Ryan Hinton Jr.
Yes. We are about to go ahead and get into this next clip, y'all. At this time, the daddy done got pissed off. Okay. The daddy is on fire. He is upset. He's tired of the BS. And me personally, I don't think he planned this. I think this nigga was just out riding. And he's like, you know what? It's his study. Just
Silhouette.
like us women, men go
Watch
through
out,
the same
silhouette.
thing.
He saw a silhouette.
Exactly. They study thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. And before you know it, they be like, you know what? Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it at this moment.
Temporary insanity.
Exactly.
That's what happened. I can't see it no other way because that couldn't have been the first officer he saw as he drove.
Exactly. Yep.
That was not premeditated.
And this officer was a retired officer. He just was like, you know what, I'm retired, but I still want to do a little bit of something out here in the community.
Yeah, the officer that killed the retired officer that killed Ahmaud Arbery, he wanted to do a little something in the neighborhood too. Then.
Showed it. Here we go, y'all.
Retired sheriff's deputy is dead after police say a driver intentionally hit him. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Trisha Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. Cincinnati police say the driver is the father of an 18-year-old who was shot and killed by police yesterday.
We have been following this story all day, and we have team coverage tonight.
Allie Hennard is at UC Medical Center.
Brady Williams attended the procession for the deputy.
But first, let's send it over to Allie with more on how this all unfolded.
Well, Rob, Trisha, that's right. So the deputy lost his life to those injuries here at UC Medical Center earlier today. Now, we do know, according to Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thigi, the driver of the vehicle that hit and killed the deputy was the father of the man killed in an officer-involved shooting yesterday. Now, police say that he's been arrested for aggravated murder.
Driver of today's vehicle that struck a deputy has a family relationship with the 18-year-old that we shot yesterday.
Cincinnati police say the father of the 18-year-old who was shot and killed by Cincinnati police on Thursday was driving the car that hit and killed a deputy Friday afternoon. Rodney Hinton Jr. is now charged with aggravated murder for the deputy's death.
Go medical! Go medical! We need this shut down right now! Officer down! Officer down!
Cincinnati police say the deputy was directing traffic ahead of UC's graduation ceremony when he was struck by a vehicle entering the intersection. It happened around 1 p.m. at the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive and Burnett Woods Drive near UC's campus.
I think what is significant for people to know about this accident is the officer was just out doing his job, directing traffic up near the University of Cincinnati for what was supposed to be a glorious day for many.
After two critical incidents in 2 days, Chief Thigi made a plea to the public.
Let the processes play out. Let the investigations play out. Keep calm, take care of one another, and I can assure you, as the Chief of Police for Cincinnati, I will ensure you transparency and a thorough and accurate investigation.
The deputy had recently retired from the department.
All right, y'all. Now, y'all done heard that clip. Y'all have heard that clip. I am about to show y'all that this man, the daddy, his first court appearance since this has occurred. He ain't happy, y'all.
Okay, see if I can open it.
Good morning, Mr. Hinton. Good morning.
Please say good morning, Judge. He's very soft.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Anything as to probable cause?
Your Honor, we'll waive probable cause this morning. I have submitted designations for John Kennedy and Timothy Bignell. They will be the attorneys of record handling Mr. Hinton's case. I'll be handling the arraignment this morning.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Prosecutor, or anything as to
Wait, as to bond, Your Honor. Thank you. Your Honor, we understand this is a very, very serious, very terrible charge that Mr. Hinton is facing. He has a risk, but he does not have a history, Judge. He has No felonies in his record. Justice assessment score was a 1. He had a juvenile record. He works at DPF. He's married. He's a father. He's a graduate of Purcell Marion. I understand that this is an emotionally charged situation. I understand that Mr. Hinton's son may have been killed by the police earlier in the week. There was a review of that video. I understand that there is a lot of sadness and a lot of anger in this room right now, but in the community at large. And we just ask the court to set a reasonable bond in light of everything to allow the constitutional process to play out.
All right. Thank you. Andy, you've given me a pre-trial services sheet. Is that right? All right. The court has had a chance to review that and his past history. Is there anything from the state, the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor. Ryan Nelson on behalf of the
Could you
prosecution.
give us more volume, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Ryan Nelson on behalf of the prosecution. What we believe that the evidence will show is that yesterday, on about the 2nd of May, the defendant was traveling, I believe, to be eastbound on Martin Luther King Avenue at MLK, I believe at Burnett Woods, the intersection, immediately north to the rear entrance of the University of Cincinnati. The defendant stops his car. The defendant, in a way that was calculated and premeditated, lined up his car, deliberately accelerated his car, and purposely caused the death of an on-duty deputy sheriff who was doing a detail at that intersection. As such, we are going to be seeking indictment for aggravated murder, and we would request, in accordance with ORC 4937-222, for a no bond hearing. That rule requires that hearing be set within 3 business days, so we are seeking to set that date on the 6th of May.
All right. Did you see how he walked up in there? Like, he like, look, this for my son. This for my seed. You know, like, anybody can get it. Now, I do have Queen. I do have the footage of him walking out too. I ain't gonna lie. I got him walking out too. And the way he looked walking out, Queen, the way he looked walking out, like, at this point, he knows. He knows he's not finna go home tomorrow. I don't care
think that was
what.
his intent.
Say that again?
I don't think his intent was to go home. His intent was to play out what the Bible said.
And what was it?
An eye for an eye. Allegedly.
I was gonna put that on my post. I was gonna put it on the post. An eye for an eye. I'm not lying to you. I ain't got time to lie. I was gonna put that on my post.
I
When
think if you know the word and you know how things go, it's exactly how it looked.
Queen.
But I'm not in his mental state. I don't know
We
his
don't
mental
know.
state. So I don't want to say anything because we both don't know what he was thinking. But I got a strong feeling.
I do too. Let's just say, because we don't know for a fact.
Not at all.
We don't know for a fact. But let's just say, Queen, that this was his only child. Let's just say this was his only child. I think if this was his only child, I ain't got nothing to lose at this moment. Now, y'all, look at this man when he walk up out of here. When he walk up out of here, look at his face. Look how he looking at the officers. Just watch. Here we go.
No bond until Tuesday when we'll review the statute for continuing no bond in these unusual and very tragic in terrible circumstances. Where will the defendant be housed, and will he be safe? And I ask that because he was transferred, as I understand it, to Clermont County yesterday on my order.
That's correct.
And will he be returned to Clermont County until Tuesday?
It's all understandable.
And you have a safe environment for him there in Clermont County? You'll return him on Tuesday, May the 6th at 8:30 a.m. for a hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, we'd ask the court to put a bond on him now, but we understand that it's not a bond hearing.
All right, no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we can hold him at no bond for 72 hours.
Watch him, y'all.
Thank you.
Watch
All
him.
right, thank you so much.
Watch him.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, thank you all. Thank you all for being here.
The way he walked up out of there was, baby, I'd do it again. I'd do it again. For my child, for my seed. I brought this child in here. And see, that's what people tend to not understand. For some apparent reason. You have mothers and fathers. Peachy Tea Tyme is for everybody. It's for everybody. Anybody that lost a loved one. It is for anybody that has lost a loved one. But please, let's not forget, everybody that lost a loved one, that loved one is somebody's child. That's somebody's child. No matter how we look at it. I can say all day long, my platform is for mothers that lost their child. Baby, that's everybody in the world. I don't care if they're grown. I don't care if they're 80 years old, 60 years old, 20, 10, 5, 1. They still somebody's child. Somebody's adult, grown person. They still had a mama or daddy. And ain't nobody finna be playing about their kids. And when I say kids, I mean grown adults too. Go ahead, Queen. I know you got something to say. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because when I get started, God, stuff like this just bothers my soul. That some people will sit there and act like, why he do that? Oh my God. Yes, you are supposed to go and report things and wait for the police because we don't want to go to jail. We don't want to go to prison. But baby, you always got somebody out there that don't give a damn.
Or they did.
Or they did. And but when I say don't give a damn, they don't give a damn about the law. Not about the child. I don't give a damn about the law. My child means more to me than the law. And they don't mind going spending that time.
Walk that walk.
Exact officers, y'all need to understand that. Yeah,
You
y'all got
know,
bulletproof vests and all that, but you ain't got shit to cover y'all heads.
you know, I watched a video from an impacted mother that showed that she's out of Florida. She lost her son unlawfully. Now, mind you, it's a lot of families that lost their children that was not in the streets. Let's be clear on that. They was outstanding citizens. This is what I'm telling. So everybody is not doing unlawful things.
Exactly. There's a lot of innocent bystanders.
Casualties of wars. What I want to say is, as I was watching this officer, I don't know what he was doing, but he was so scared, and instead of him going for the one that he was trying to arrest, he decides to go for one that he wasn't even trying to arrest and tase this baby. Okay. And for some elected officials to say that they want to give officers enough immunity where they can use their thoughts discretionally, I think that is a dangerous move because some of these people don't need to even be on the force.
Exactly.
Because if you so ego strucken to the point where you can't even go for the one you was trying to arrest. So you decide to just take you one just because he's black and just there, and you tase this baby and you arrest him and, on no certain reasoning, but it was all because you was scared. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. I just was just like, these are the ones don't need to be there. These are the ones that's going on force, and they probably, I don't even know, probably wasn't even looked at in high school. I don't know what they was going through, but I do know that
Mm-hmm.
you're shaking in your boots. You need to find you another another occupation. The problem that I have with people being officers is that their hours are less than a cosmetologist.
Okay.
You don't need a college degree. All you got to do is sign up. Sign up. But they're not protecting the country. They protecting districts, cities. They're not doing what us as militaries did. We were fighting for the whole country to protect our people. The way they move, you cannot move in the military like that, or you would get court-martialed for not doing not obeying your orders.
Okay.
You just can't take your weapon and just fire off. You can't do that. You can't even do that if Bin Laden was alive.
Exactly.
So I don't know why they're so marginalized, where to the point where they are willing to just take someone's life or beat them or choke them out to death and then turn around and throw handcuffs on them. Like, what a dead man gonna do to you?
Exactly.
That's scary.
Not nothing.
Yes, but it's definitely giving it's slave master tactics. You know what I'm saying? The badge has changed. The badge is still the same. Slave catchers had the same badge, but for some reason they won't penalize them. The money is being penalized by the taxpayers. So these settlements that everyone be getting, that's not coming out of the pockets or the insurance of the officers or the district or the precinct. That's coming off us. We're paying those families that settlement. The difference between police brutality violence and community violence, there's no money in community violence. If
Mm.
Ray Ray decided to kill Peaches, that's just it. If Keisha decided to kill Lacey, that's just it. But then you got this young boy by the name Kyle Rittenhouse. He go out in the middle of protest and shoot up everybody with a AK, with a assault rifle. And guess what? They do a GoFundMe, and he gets off for not only shooting up a black person but killing a white person too. So the
Exactly.
system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's how we dismantle it. That's the problem.
Taking our damn money.
Yeah, the system is not broken. The machine is heavily moving like it's supposed to do because it's seemed off a systematic oppression and racism. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? So while they sending people, kidnapping people, putting them in these detention centers and ICE and sending them to El Salvador, they won't send the Proud Boys. They won't send the KKK because that's how the police are funded.
Is y'all listening tonight?
That is the problem.
Is
You
y'all listening
know,
tonight?
that's that
You know,
that
we
that is the
gotta say at the end of the day, we gotta say allegedly, but me and Queen, we do our research.
absolutely. And I'm not no big scholar. I'm not finna use all these fluffy words. I'm not the one to
Yeah,
sit here and
I can't do it.
turn
So
people out because I'm saying something. It's like a feel. No, us dying is a feel.
mhm.
You cannot fake that. You understand what I'm saying? These people are not coming back. Our loved ones and lows are locked up for things that they probably ain't even do petty crimes. And they're not coming home. They're not even paroling nobody. And it's so barbaric. It just runs deep. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother show. However, to have all those officers around that man, he wasn't thinking about none of them. But to have all them officers around that man, like, that's just
For
too
what?
performative. It was too performative. It was too performative.
When I saw it, that's the first thing I thought of was why they got all these officers. What example is they trying to set right here?
But you
Like,
saw that
we
black
don't
you
give a
saw that
damn.
black woman
We
officer
watching
face.
him.
That black woman officer face, she felt it. Yeah, she felt bad.
I felt the man, what was he? The other black bald headed man that was doing talking in the beginning. I
Yeah.
felt like he was sitting up there like, I don't know why I am up here doing this shit. Like that's how I feel. Like they finna clown me at any damn moment. Yes, we are so.
They know we tired.
Is.
They on the
And then
force,
you going
but
along
the
with it for
game related, but the game won't let them be great.
Mm-mm.
They have to silence themselves.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's a sad
Mhm.
space. They can't. They.
Well, we are into our last two clips for tonight. The granddaddy and the cousin.
All right.
So they ended up going to somebody's house. I don't know if it's the mama, the granddaddy, grandma, I don't know. There's at somebody's house. They had the whole family there. The mother, I want to make sure I make this clear. The mother did not speak. Okay? The mother did not speak. I watched the whole thing from beginning to the end. She said some words, but the camera wasn't on her to say them words. She trying to be a mother, be strong for everybody, be hugging everybody, make sure they don't then go crazy and stuff, making sure don't nobody say the wrong thing, carrying all that on her as what mothers do. So she didn't speak, but you best believe she gonna speak one day, and we gonna have it on Peachy Tea Tyme. So right now, y'all, you know we got to go into our commercial break. So we finna go into our quick commercial break. After the commercial break, we just gonna go straight. Again, we gonna go straight into the granddaddy. You know, the brother spoke. You know, all these other folks spoke, but to me, the granddaddy and the cousin was very, very, very powerful. And I said, my viewers, my peoples, my fam, y'all gotta see this. You gotta see it. So let's get into our commercial break because y'all know that's what we do over here. We gotta play a commercial break. And then we're gonna go straight into the granddaddy, y'all. Here we go. Hey y'all, it's your girl the Missus. The Missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Or you can just call me Miss Peachy. That's all good too. Look, welcome to Peachy Tea Tyme. And it's Monday where I'm solo dolo. Yes, solo dolo. Unless I have a special guest. But y'all make sure y'all tune in each and every Monday, okay? Each and every Monday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget to watch the other shows too. On Wednesday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and on Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, y'all. I love y'all so much, but we got to head on back to this show, okay? Make sure y'all continue to watch this show. Bye. We out. All right, y'all. Here go the granddaddy.
I'm Rodney Hinton Sr. I want to give a condolence out to the officers that got killed. My whole family. I'm asking for forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. I've been praying hard for him and his family because I know he's hurting off this. As I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No. What I seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. You know, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and I represent him. So with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything to anybody.
For you, this is a fact-finding mission more than anything to make sure you understand.
Yeah, it's a peace thing for me, for everything, for everybody to heal off this. I want everybody to heal off this. You know, it was just like a mistake. I really feel bad for the officer who was shooting because I can see the scariness in him too. People can't see it because I'm going spiritual with this now. So I was able to see that God had allowed me to see this part of the accident. You know, just like my son made an accident too. So he made an accident. Just, you know what I'm saying, just trying to just move on now. That's all I'm trying to do on. And I'm praying for the officer and their family.
How hard has it been for your entire family from Thursday into Friday with all of this plan? That's a lot.
It's been hard on my side of the family. I know it's been hard on Tori, because me and Tori, you know, me and her is so tight. We usually being born on the same day. So God, it's crucial how me and her have to end up to explain this now. We born on the same day, but different years. You know what I'm saying? So all this was building up to this point. But I was trying to I have to bring the peace to this. There's no violence in this, no revenge.
You're aware there's social media chatter that people in the community might feel a different way?
I don't.
We haven't been on it at all.
I'm being no social media. I don't do no Facebook, nothing. I just rely on the power of God. That's it.
It seems like there's tension though based on stuff.
I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. I want to find out exactly what steps was taken in the protocol. And if everything comes out that it's not what it should have been, we need to do something about change and training and diversity and understanding us as a Black culture. We as Black people, we don't deserve to be killed just because we're running away from the police. We're scared just as much as they are, whether we did something right or wrong. This is everyday life for us, being scared of the police. Take that in consideration while everybody is making comments on the parent should have did this and the parent should have did that.
Okay, come on. Because I ain't worried about it.
I got this. What's your name? My name is Marlon. I'm Ryan's cousin. My condolences to everybody involved in this. I just want to say, Ryan, I'm so sorry. God, please watch over the rest of my family. I want to address all the negativity and saying he was something being a stolen car, this and that. Listen, he was supposed to be at home that night and shit. Let me get this out. He had no business being in a stolen car, man. He had a bed to come home to. He slept in a car. He couldn't get in the house. All right. He called me like 6-9 times, like 2012 and one. Called me trying to get in. Text me. And I was asleep. I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan.
Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry, Ryan. It's just that, like, everybody just talking shit about him. Just know he wasn't supposed to be here, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Whew. That was a lot to take in. Y'all. You're on mute, Queen. You gotta unmute yourself. That was a lot to take in. He said he wasn't supposed to be there. He said he called him about 6-9 times. He ain't answer because he was asleep. He was trying to get in the house. So he just happened to be in the car, in a stolen car. That doesn't mean he went with them to go steal the car. And he riding around joyriding with him. It don't mean that at all.
That's right.
But even if he did, it still don't cause for him to lose his life.
I was on the grandmother side personally.
Because I saw everything that the grandmother said.
Yeah.
What part did you feel like you was on her side?
She's feel like there should be some type of different type of tactics and training.
Yep.
That's what I want. That's what everybody is screaming. That's why I was like, how do officers have less hours than a cosmetologist?
I don't think that there's new tactics that they have to learn.
Like
I
she
just
said,
feel like
like
they come in feeling like I have a gun, I have the authority, I have the right to kill somebody, and I'm going to kill you. I feel like every single officer, and I could be wrong, Queen.
no,
I
you're
could be
not wrong
wrong.
because
But
officers
no,
are
no, no, let me finish.
okay.
I could be wrong, but I feel like every single officer knows and have had the training to where they can shoot and kill and not kill, but shoot in somebody in the leg, shoot them in the arm, or it's 5, 6, 10 of them. They can jump on him, beat him down, not kill him, but they don't even have to use a gun. They got tasers. We can use a taser. It's 6, 7, 8 of us. I know we could get him.
That
I know
baby
we can
I
get
was
him.
like 130 soaking wet.
That's what I'm saying. Like yes, they do get trained to kill, but they also get trained to just shoot here, shoot there, shoot here, shoot there.
No. Actually, officer came out and it has been studied that they are meant to shoot black people.
Okay, I get that.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I can understand that.
yeah, you shoot white man in the toe, but you take all body shots when it comes to us.
I
You know
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
I understand that.
And
But if
and and and, and
you're trained to shoot
just
the
like and
officer
just like
in the toe,
and just,
that means you know how to shoot in the toe.
officers, I feel like need at least do 2 years of college. Have a class in psychology 101, the least. You understand what I'm saying? With general studies. Because in order to understand someone, you have to be able to understand the psyche of a person. You know what I'm saying? You take psychology in regular business and studies. You understand what I'm saying? So why would you not take psychology in a high risk job? Dealing with the people. You know what I mean? And if you're not gonna punish that officer, why not end their immunity? Why not end their immunity? Because just like the grandfather said, he saw two scared people. But that's the problem. What are you so terrified for? We talked about that earlier in the show. What are you so terrified for if you are an officer? What are you scared of? When you got the power in your hand to be able to do, you never see them use this. They also taught you de-escalation tactics, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are taught that. They
Yep.
don't. Why we're not using that unless you got the complexion for the protection?
They're not using it because they don't want to. They
Exactly.
don't have to.
Exactly.
They can get away with it, and they know they can get away with it. But
Exactly.
what I'm saying is, if they know how to shoot a white person in the toe, damn it, they know how to shoot a black person in the toe.
They're not gonna do
They just don't want to.
that.
They want to kill. This is their opportunity to kill somebody.
And that's what I'm saying.
Why not do it? So my thing is, if you know how to do it, and we all know that they are trained, they know how to shoot somebody in the leg. They know how to shoot somebody in the arm. They know how not to kill somebody. So if you decide that you're gonna kill somebody, whether they black, white, Hispanic, whatever, if you decide to kill them, you need to go to prison for the rest of your life because you was trained
To detain.
in the toe, in the leg, in the arm. Take color out of here. Take color completely out of it. They were trained. If you take color out of it, they were trained. So since you was trained, take your ass to prison for the rest of your life or to get the death penalty. Because you literally killed somebody. That's what you did. You murdered somebody.
Mhm.
You murdered somebody.
That's right. Decatur, Alabama. It's a video where a man was named LJ, I believe, was dead on the floor in the police department, and they drug his lifeless body like by the foot and drug him through a door. And I would be remiss to not talk about Steve Perkins. He was a man that was home, and the tow truck came to his house in the middle of the night, and he went outside and did not know what was going on. And the officer that was not supposed to be there, I guess he was out of uniform or something, end up killing this man in his yard. See, it's so many cases just like this. Like I said, the reason why I brought up Vincent True because it triggers me to remember when I watched his video and he was running, right? And they claimed allegedly that he had a gun, and the young man before he died had said, "Why y'all shoot me in the back for?" So why would he ask that?
Exactly.
Just because somebody got gun in hand don't necessarily mean they about to kill you. But what about the ones that use the weapon? But y'all take them to go get Burger King. That's my problem. I never said if you do wrong, you don't go and get you don't go do your due process. But everything doesn't require an extermination of life.
No, it does not. I don't think nothing requires it unless they trying to shoot and kill you.
Yes,
Well, they
that's
trying to
right.
shoot and kill you.
Yeah, self defense. But then again, you got George Zimmerman using stand your ground law just to kill a baby by the name of Trayvon Martin that was only going to the store for Skittles and a tea, and they told this man not to follow this baby. So
And he did it anyways.
they did it anyway.
And we all saw George Zimmerman walk sky free. That was so hurtful. That was so hurtful to see this man. And I think so many of us just knew. We just knew in our hearts that he was finna go and get some prison time. But for them to say, go home, you're done, it's over with, that was so hurtful.
And that's why I respect um Miss Miss Sabrina Fulton and Miss Tracy Martin. They really, really have been the blueprint on how you heal properly from systematic oppression. Because that had to been the craziest situation the world could have seen next to George Floyd.
And remember, she just said, y'all, what the world could have seen. It's so much that's even worse than that.
Oh, it gets
That
worse.
the world have not
It gets
seen.
worse. How you sit here and let the officers kill Sandra Bland and they prop her up like we can't see that she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
It is
So
too much.
I really, really thank you, Queen, for coming on with me tonight. We have
Absolutely.
had a great time tonight. We definitely have left the mark for tonight, letting folks know that no matter what, we are out here in the streets. We are trying to make a difference. We are trying to spread the awareness.
It's about spreading the
The
awareness.
awareness
Yes, ma'am.
to let y'all know whatever y'all see when y'all walk out y'all front door, baby, it's some way, way, way worse than what you could think of that's going on out there in this world. And here at Peachy Tea Tyme, I try to bring it to you so y'all can see it. Just in case it decide to creep up on your front doorstep. I done brought it to you, let you know it has happened. Okay? Now, Queen, I I always let everybody in the show, baby. I let everybody in the show. I ain't tell you that. I don't tell nobody. But I let you in the show. But don't worry. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna ask you a question. And then all you gotta do is answer the question.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna put that one finger up like you in church. If you do not put that one finger up, you're just gonna be sitting up there on the screen. Like, why she ain't took me down yet?
Gotcha.
So make sure you put that one finger up. And then we're gonna take you down. And then I also would need you to stay on at least for a minute or two after I end the broadcast. I know. Look, Queen be in the bed, y'all. So when I tell y'all right now, I'm honored. I'm so honored. So honored to have her here with me tonight. But everybody, please, please, please make sure y'all tune in on this Wednesday and Friday, because y'all know we out here in these streets Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please make sure you tune in on Wednesday, where I have me and Jason, and of course the counselor lady Charlotte, baby. We will be in the building. We gonna do our thing. We do not have a family this Wednesday. So we're gonna be doing our thing, baby, showing these clips, spreading the awareness, okay? So make sure y'all tune in 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And then of course on Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, where you have me and my husband. And we talk about love and relationships. We throw some crime in there too. So don't even worry about it. Because that's what Peachy Tea Tyme is all about, is that crime. But it's time to go, baby. It's time to go. And it is time for Queen to end the show. Queen, please make sure you let everybody know where they can find you at. Just in case they want to holler at you and have you on their platform just as well. Or just because they just want to holler at you and they may want to have you, come out in their area and do some things.
That's right.
You boots on the ground, okay?
That's right.
She leave the fan at home, y'all. She leave the fan at home. Ain't even like that. But but this is what I want you to talk to everybody about leaving out on the show. So don't forget, tell everybody where they can find you at. And then answer this question. If you was not doing what you are doing right now, out here fighting for all of us, if you weren't doing that, what would you be doing? What would you be doing right now if you was not doing, fighting for the world? Because that's what I'm telling you. You are a superhero to us, and you was out there fighting for each and every last one of us. And I thank you, and I cannot wait for me and you to do some things together just as well. I can't wait. So it's your time to shine, baby. I'm out of here. I love you guys. And you already know, you gotta listen to my babies. Okay, you gotta listen to my babies. So here we go, Queen. I'm out of here.
So this is Dr. Porch'se Miller, known as Queen again. You can find me on Instagram at Portia Queen Miller. That's PorchChqueemiller. You can DM me and anything you want me to know, just make it known. So if I was not doing advocacy work and being an activist and fighting for change, what would I be doing? Well, before anybody know me and any cameras in my face, my family already know me as they call me their little Angela Davis. So I probably would still be helping people, but not as such of a magnitude. And doing a lot of traveling and chefing and doing the catering company with my husband. So yeah, that I think that's what I'll be doing and continue to take care of my parents and just loving on people and hearkening to God's word. So I think that's what I'll be doing if I wasn't doing activism work. So with that being said, thank y'all so much for having me. And hopefully I can be on Miss Peachy's Peach Time TV podcast again. So y'all take care of yourself. Peace and blessings. Ashe.
Peachy Tea Tyme.